Hey, how the hell are you? And welcome to another episode of Coffee Time. I'm River.
And I'm Josiah.
So let's get this episode started.
Wait,
What?
where's the coffee?
Oh. You're back.
And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us. We have our coffee now. So,
It can actually be coffee
it
time.
can actually be coffee time. So, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking James Coffee Co. Honduras Blend. James Coffee Co. is our favorite roaster.
Yeah, we actually got to see them down at San Diego on our last adventure vlog. It was super great to go down there and visit our favorite coffee shop.
Multiple locations of our favorite coffee
Multiple.
shop.
We went twice because we're psychos. Anyways, so yeah, it's always a great day to start with Honduras, Santa Barbara. So it's always good to start with that. So today we're going to go over what is in our camera bags. So let's get started with River's bag. Let's make it happen.
First thing we need to address though, does size matter?
Does it? I feel like it might. It just depends on, what we're doing. And he might bring the whole house and I might bring not the whole house. Let's see. What's that like having?
All right.
What do you got in that big old small bag? Look at the size of this bag.
Oh,
Do you really need all the things in there?
I love all of them.
I guess there's something to be said about having love for inanimate objects like this giant bag, but
So I guess we'll start out. I'll talk about the bag a little bit. This is Lowepro Pro Tactic 450 AW version 2. It's a great bag, backpack style. Got lots of room, lots of pockets. Got all these little extra clips you can put things on, and it's got a poncho.
so it's all weather like that. Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty great.
So we're gonna see if we can do this without throwing everything on the floor. So we'll start out first.
Let me just move his coffee.
Our nice new piece of equipment here. We have a 2-in-1 tablet to take all of our notes on, and if we meet with customers, perfect for that.
Get their information.
So-
Yeah, it's
Show notes,
Yeah,
that type of stuff.
It's pretty great, especially for vlogging, because we never stay on topic, or at least I never stay on topic. So this is always good to go over.
Yeah. So here's the bag. See, lots of room. You can fit everything in here.
Could fit an elephant.
So we'll start out first. Camera body, Canon 70 Mark II. Fantastic full frame Pro Series camera. I've had this for 4 years,
Super great.
and it is a workhorse.
Absolutely. It just it gives us so much joy.
4 years, still got that new camera smell.
Oh,
Just give that a smell.
oh,
amazing.
that's great.
Great camera, love it. Next up, we got my favorite lens, the 28-135 ultrasonic. This is a f3.5, and it is fantastic, image stabilized, perfect focal length for doing all kinds of different stuff.
I see that on his camera body more than any other lens that he uses, besides the Nifty 50.
Next up, we got the kit lens, 18-255, image stabilized. I never use this. I should use it more often, but I don't.
Who does?
It's okay. Next up, we got the 75-300, little macro action. I love this lens. I've been using it a lot more often, so that's good. It's not just collecting dust.
It's kind of taking a leaf out of my book because that's all I do is macro shots.
Yeah.
So
Next up, what every photographer needs, the Nifty 50 f1.2, super fast piece of glass, super clean, and it's a Nifty 50.
who wouldn't want a Nifty
Yeah,
50?
you can't go wrong with a Nifty 50.
Absolutely not. Except that it's not image stabilized, right? So
It's not
you have
image
to like.
stabilized, but for being such a fast piece of glass, it takes just buttery images. And my last lens that I have in here is a very, very special lens.
The first time he pulled it out, I didn't think it was a lens. It's not a real lens, guys.
It is a tilt shift lens. So,
It's an accordion with a piece of glass attached to it.
and this lens is a little different than most. The camera does not set your f-stop. You have to actually change your aperture with little rings that are magnetic.
Yeah, first time he did it, I was like, what is even happening right now? Because he just took it away, click, and I was like, how do you get it out?
And they're not just circles, you can put different shapes in there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Star shot.
That's pretty fun. I got another camera in here. That is the Ricoh. It's a film camera. It was my grandfather's. He gave it to my dad, and my dad gave it to me. It's a lot of fun. It's got a nifty 50 on it also. So I've been playing with this a lot, and it's pretty sweet.
Film is hard.
Film is different. Yeah. So right now it's got ISO 400 film in it, so you can pretty much take pictures anytime, but still got to do a lot of settings.
It's always cool when he brings that out because you have to like plan your shots really well. It's not like a digital where you take 1,000 shots like I do and then like all these suck except for this one.
Yeah.
You can't really go back on that.
And then we always carry a second digital camera.
Always.
The one we're using right now,
That one.
the Canon EOS Rebel T5i. It's fantastic for vlogging and taking these videos. It's got great quality even though it's a crop sensor.
Yeah.
And it also has the Movo Mini mic on top, which that is a great mic for the price range.
No kidding.
The lens that's on there right now is the Canon 10-18. Super great for landscapes.
Absolutely. And vlogging.
And vlogging. But we also have another lens for that, and it's sitting right back here.
Go grab it off the desk.
This is another fun one, the 18-135. So that's another great lens. Love to use this one a lot, and it is image stabilized. So that's what is in my camera bag currently. But we have one more
Very special.
secret, wonderful piece of gear.
Bonus. Let's see it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I'm
You
so
guys ready for it?
Oh.
The Mavic 2 Pro.
What?
The greatest drone ever made. It's got the Hasselblad camera, 1-inch sensor, shoots 4K, it shoots log.
What?
It has all the different sensors on it. It's got a spotlight. It's just so great.
The sensors are
So
crazy
great.
too because he's like, watch, let me just fly it at myself at full speed, which is what?
45 miles per hour.
Straight at his own body, and it stopped on a dime because it has those sweet sensors. I wouldn't risk that.
It's got sensors all over it, and they work really well. And another cool thing about the Mavic series drones is you don't have to fly them to use them. You can get a handheld rig for it, so you can take advantage of that 3-axis gimbal.
Yeah, and their customer service is super great. In fact, he actually had to turn in this the drone, because there was something wrong with the firmware. It wouldn't like calibrate IMU. I don't even know what that means, but it was something that had to be
Something that
done
needed to fly.
to fly. So he customer serviced it up, and they were super great. And he sent it out, no shipping cost, right? You just sent it
They
in.
paid for everything.
And they sent it back like 4 or 5 days later, perfect working condition. Super great, awesome.
Absolutely, and there it is, the Mavic,
The Mavic.
favorite piece. And that's what I'm rocking.
That's what's in his camera bag. So let's see what's in my bag. Ooh. All right, hold on, guys. I might need a crane to get this up. Oh, it's so small.
Is that Fisher Price?
It's Fisher Price. Just kidding. It's so the bag. We'll just start with the bag. It is a Caden bag, which he got for me from Amazon. It wasn't even that expensive, but he was tired of me carrying a shoebox around because that's pretty much what I was using. So I was able to fit a lot more stuff in here. So let's see it. You might need to clear the table. This is a really big bag.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. It's not a big bag. So let's open this puppy up. Oh yeah, hear that zipper? Oh. All right, let's start with my camera, which actually has a lens on it. I'm not cool like you and pulled the lens off, but this is my Canon T6. I love this camera. It is not a super pro camera at all, but it's super user-friendly, and it doesn't have too many buttons, so I wasn't too bamboozled by the buttons. I mean, I was. Let's stop lying. I was super bamboozled, but I've learned a lot from this camera.
Everyone's confused at first.
Absolutely. But it takes really good pictures. It's super easy to use, and it's really light, so that's a big plus. So the lens that I have on here right now is my 28-105. It is my favorite lens. I love that focal length. It is great for taking anything from landscapes to up-close shots. Super, super great.
Great portrait lens.
Great portrait lens.
It's at 105, you get great compression.
Not so great for selfies. I don't do selfies.
It's not as good as the 7200 for compression when you get those amazing portraits, but that 105 is still pretty great.
It's pretty great. So that is my camera. Next up, we have my kit lens, which again, neither of us use our kit lenses. The 18-55 from Canon. Neither of us use this lens.
Paperweights.
It's just in the bag to fill up space, so I look cooler than I am, but it's not really that great. My other lens, I only have 3. I'm not as cool as him. Is my 70-300. Macro lens. This lens is really great. It is not Canon, but it's a Tamron, which is still pretty great, and it says for Canon, so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
It's really great for taking macro shots. I am Mr. Macro. I love taking those up close, super cool, like, you know, leaf or a bug.
Finite detail.
Finite detail. Yeah, we'll say it like that.
So, what do you got on the end of your lens there?
So I am notorious for losing lens caps. This is. I mean, I think I put them in my pocket and they go to Narnia or something. They just disappear. And it's not just my camera gear either, it's his too. So he every time I use like any camera, he's like, hey, where's the lens cap? And I'm like, somewhere? So he actually got me these super great universal rubber lens caps things.
They take up more space. They're harder to lose.
They are very much harder to use, and they're kind of hard to get off. So you can't just go click and, you know, they're nice and seal that lens up. It's really great.
Weather sealed.
Weather sealed. I mean, don't throw your lens in the water, for God's sakes. Don't do that.
Hey, maybe you're with Bear Grylls and you got to jump off a waterfall.
I'm not jumping. All right. So the last thing that is inside the bag is my Harlem. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Harem. Harem? I don't know how to say it. It's one of those words. And this is my GoPro gimbal. It's a powered gimbal, which is super great. I don't have the GoPro on there, so I can't turn it on or they'll freak out and stuff. But it's got this super great gimbal on it, and it's motorized. It's controlled with the little joystick here. You do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So that's really fun. I've gotten a lot of really cool B-roll with it. So,
I held it out the window of a moving car.
Yeah, that did happen.
And it was very stable. My hand was very cold.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking for me, but he said he had a death grip on it. So yeah.
Great piece of gear. Gimbals are always fantastic. Hopefully soon you'll see us with maybe a Ronin S for our camera bodies.
Yeah, if we win the lottery. So yeah, that's what's inside. The last thing I want to talk about, and I think everybody should have it, because I feel like we should, is a pair of these. These are photography gloves. You can get them literally in any shape,
all
size,
different
form.
styles. I got a pair also.
He's got a pair too, but these are made by Palmith, I think that's how you pronounce it. It was like $10, not a big deal, but it always seems that like your hands are freezing cold.
Little black ones.
These are the ones.
Insulated. You know, if you want a touchscreen, you got a little fancy.
Yeah, mine's
rubbers.
got a little hole here so your finger can stick out. And, you know,
photographer's gloves.
touch buttons.
Great. Oh, we almost forgot to talk about the most important piece of gear for any photographer.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, can I get a drum roll? Rocket blower.
Rocket pod.
This is the greatest thing ever. You got some dirt on your lens? Boom, gone. Got some dirt on your sensor? Boom, gone. This is the most universal tool
Absolutely.
ever. And it's fun to play with. You know, you just spray your buddy. So, everyone, invest in one of these.
Absolutely.
Rocket blowers.
Rocket blowers.
They're fantastic, they're cheap, and you should just always have one.
Yeah, always. Always have good stuff to clean your lenses with. So, I think we covered everything in our bags.
That's what we carry. Yeah.
That's what we carry,
We
but
have some more gear. Like, kind of, what else do we have? So, we have a camera cage. That's pretty cool. So, have camera hooks in there, walk over 2 hands, get a little bit more stable, but you still have the ability to put it on a tripod, set it down, it's got its own little legs. That's pretty cool. A weighted stabilizer, which is really heavy.
speaking of heavy, since we're talking about his bag, because we're not talking about my very large bag, we're talking about his, kind of smaller bag. But whenever we go to shoots, he always carries the entire house. I mean, literally, there's probably like 100 pounds of gear in there most of the time. It's hysterical to watch him run around with all that stuff.
I always take the heaviest piece out.
Yeah, and give it to me so I can carry it.
No, I just take out the GoPro because you bring yours.
That's the heaviest piece. Real heavy GoPros, lead bricks.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of like, it depends on what you're doing. So it's kind of like good to be like, let's bring everything so that
You're
we can
prepared.
have it. But at the same time, carrying all that stuff for a long time, it sucks.
Sometimes you just need to be a minimalist and just bring what you need.
Yeah, that's why I like my small bag. I think later we're gonna start thinking about doing a re-edit on episode 1.
Absolutely, because that episode was
Terrible. And we know that. So like as we get like further along, we notice a lot of the mistakes. We are our worst critics. We always see this stuff. And we kind of want to go through it and do a full new re-edit, do a commentary on it, just to see if we can make that puppy better, because it's terrible. And we know.
Hot, steamy garbage.
Maybe have more than one song that's not on repeat. We hate that song now.
All you people that hated that song,
We're sorry.
I'm sorry. I also hate that song. I had to listen to it for 8 days straight while I was editing that video the first time.
Oh man.
Because I did not have my fancy computer yet. I was still rocking a laptop, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I promise you that song will not be
In the re-edit.
Re-edit.
Absolutely not. We were
Throwing that song away forever.
out of the window. Never use it again. It was terrible. And we know that. So we're gonna do a re-edit that. We want you guys to be with us on that. That'll come sooner rather than later. And we also know that we were also hearing some stuff about you guys want to see some tutorials on like camera gear. Like me, I'm gonna use the word again because it was great. Bamboozled by all the buttons, and we're gonna go through some of that stuff so you guys can figure it out.
Yeah. Give us just let us know what type of content you want to see.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about basics of the camera, or certain types of photography or videography, or editing tips or audio tips, lighting tips, any of that stuff. I think I've heard a lot of people, they want to learn how to do steel wool and light painting.
Ooh, I have heard that too.
So that's another thing that we like to do. And that's some other gear we have that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, light
We
painting.
have a lot of light painting brushes, which is just a fancy flashlight with different attachments.
You wiggle at the camera.
But we would be doing lots of tutorials.
Yes, and even if you don't comment, we're just gonna put tutorials anyway, so deal with it. So I think that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful morning. We got to talk about coffee, talked about some of the camera gear we had, talked about some future episodes. We hope you really liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to see more stuff, hit that subscribe button. And
Hit that bell.
hit that bell so you can get those notifications. So from us here, I'm Josiah.
And I'm River.
See you next time.
Oh, bro.
What?
We almost forgot.
What did we forget?
Follow us on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Follow us on Facebook. Check out the website, runningwatermediadesign.com. If you like blogs, some of us are old-fashioned.
We like reading.
Not me.
I like reading.
But you can read stuff we talk about. We talk about all kinds of different things on there. Just day-to-day life type stuff.
Yeah.
Did a little tutorial stuff about lens filters.
Yep.
So
And
check it out.
And if you can't wait for that steel wool stuff, there is a blog about the magic of photography, and that's all about light painting and steel wool painting. Get on it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and remember, take your shot, just go shoot.
See you next time.